one battle after another, arrives from Warner Brothers. Pictures as one of the most anticipated films of the year, carrying the unmistakable signature of writer, director, and producer Paul Thomas Anderson. Known globally for his distinct cinematic language in films like There Will Be Blood, The Master, and Inherent Vice, Anderson once again returns with a rich, character-driven story, this time bringing together an extraordinary ensemble cast led by Academy Award and BAFTA winners Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Benicio Del Toro, joined by Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and rising star Chase Infiniti. With such a powerhouse lineup, the film has already generated massive buzz among critics, cinephiles, and mainstream audiences alike, standing out as a gripping tale of paranoia, redemption, and the price of a past that never fully disappears. At the center of the narrative is Bob, played by Leonardo DiCaprio in what many are already calling one of his most raw, unpredictable, and emotionally complex performances to date. Bob is a washed-up former revolutionary, once fearless, now lost in a haze of constant paranoia and self-inflicted isolation. He survives far from society, tucked away in a rugged off-grid existence with his teenage daughter Willa, played brilliantly by Chase Infiniti. Their world is unconventional, messy, tender, and unpredictable, a father-daughter bond forged in survival, secrecy, and the remnants of a life shaped by political extremism and personal regret. Willa, despite her young age, has learned to live self-reliantly, navigating the wild edges of their environment with grit and intelligence. She's spirited, sharp, and stubborn, often serving as the emotional anchor for her troubled father. Everything changes when Bob's old nemesis, played with chilling intensity by Sean Penn, resurfaces after 16 years. This enemy isn't just a name from Bob's past, he represents the unfinished business, the unresolved violence, and the ideological battles that Bob once fought for but ultimately fled from. The return of this foe disrupts the fragile safety Bob has built around himself and his daughter. When Willa suddenly goes missing, Bob is forced into action, rattled out of his drug-clouded paranoia and thrown back into a world he abandoned long ago. His desperate search for Willa becomes the emotional core of the story, pushing him to confront the consequences of choices he made years earlier. It becomes clear that Willa's disappearance isn't random, she is caught in the crossfire of Bob's past political rebellions, personal betrayals, and unresolved vendettas. As Bob sets out on his frantic journey, the film explores the complicated layers of his character, his fear, idealism, guilt, and fierce love for his daughter. At the same time, the audience witnesses Willa's own battles as she navigates the danger surrounding her. Both father and daughter face their own internal and external wars, and the story unfolds as a series of tense encounters, emotional revelations, and unpredictable turns that push them physically and psychologically. Paul Thomas Anderson crafts the narrative with his usual mastery, blending dark humor, suspense, emotional depth, and moments of surreal beauty. His directing style creates a story world that feels lived in and chaotic, yet precise in its emotional beats. The screenplay captures the claustrophobic tension of a man running from his own demons while grounding the film in the very real pain of a family fractured by ideology and fear. Anderson's vision is unmistakably bold, offering a cinematic journey that is not only dramatic but also deeply human. The film's production quality is nothing short of outstanding, brought to life by Anderson's longtime creative collaborators. Director of photography Michael Bauman delivers striking visuals using VistaVision, 70mm film, and IMAX formats, allowing the film to achieve a scope that is both intimate and epic. The wide, immersive format enhances the atmosphere, capturing the rugged off-grid landscapes where Bob and Willa live, the gritty environments of the city they left behind, and the tense confrontations that follow. Every shot feels purposeful, textured, and emotionally charged. Production designer Florencia Martin, who has earned acclaim and awards for her detailed and expressive work, builds environments that visually capture the story's themes of isolation, rebellion, and survival. Whether it's the cluttered hideaway where Bob and Willa live or the ominous settings tied to Bob's enemy, every location reflects a world shaped by past battles and present dangers. The film's editing, led by BAFTA-nominated editor Andy Jurgensen, brings urgency and rhythm to the story. His cuts guide viewers through the film's shifting tones, from the slow, eerie tension of Bob's isolated life to the sharp, nerve-wracking sequences that unfold as the search for Willa intensifies. The pacing keeps the audience on edge, maintaining emotional engagement throughout the entire journey. Costume designer Colleen Atwood, an Oscar and BAFTA winner, once again proves her mastery with costumes that define the characters without overstating them. Bob's worn, patched clothing reflects years of hiding and survival, Willa's practical, rugged look shows her resilience, and the antagonist's wardrobe subtly hints at a cold, disciplined, and calculating persona. Atwood's work helps ground the story in realism while contributing to the emotional weight of each character's journey. Casting director Cassandra Koulakandis brings together a cast whose chemistry and performances elevate the film. Chase Infiniti's portrayal of Willa is especially noteworthy, fresh, emotionally rich, and deeply believable. She embodies a girl raised outside normal society but grounded by love and instinct. Her dynamic with DiCaprio forms the heart of the film, giving audiences one of the most compelling parent-child duos in recent cinema. Adding further depth is Johnny Greenwood's original score. The Oscar and BAFTA-nominated composer delivers a soundscape that heightens both the film's paranoia and its emotional undertones. Greenwood's music weaves through the tension, amplifying the psychological struggles of the characters while giving the story moments of haunting beauty and reflection. His score contributes significantly to the tone, atmosphere, and emotional resonance of the film. One Battle After Another is not just a thriller, nor is it simply a drama. It is a story layered with themes of identity, responsibility, generational consequences, and the long shadow of radical beliefs. It asks, how far can someone run from their past before it catches up? And what happens when the person paying the price is someone you love? Bob's emotional transformation, driven by his desperate need to save Willa, unfolds in a way that is painful, tender, and gripping. The film explores the internal scars left by guilt and the external scars left by conflict. At its core, it shows a father trying to make amends in the only way he knows how, by fighting one more battle, perhaps his most important one. As Willa navigates her own challenges, the audience witnesses a young girl piecing together truths about her father's past and the world he shielded her from. Her strength, vulnerability, and determination shape her into a character who refuses to be defined by the chaos surrounding her. She is not simply a child caught in danger, she becomes a fighter in her own right, reflecting both her inherited resilience and her personal bravery. The film's title, One Battle After Another, echoes the characters' journeys, literal battles, emotional battles, moral battles, and the constant struggle between who they were and who they are becoming. It speaks to a world where survival is earned moment by moment and where redemption is never straightforward. Warner Bros. Pictures presents this film under the banner of Gallardo Film Company, maintaining the bold creative spirit associated with Anderson's productions. The choice to distribute in VistaVision, 70mm, and IMAX further signals the studio's confidence in the film's visual and storytelling power. Audiences will have the chance to experience the film with the depth, clarity, and scale it deserves. With its stellar performances, gripping narrative, and exceptional craftsmanship, One Battle After Another stands as one of the most compelling cinematic releases of the year. It is a story that blends emotional complexity with suspense and character-driven drama, offering viewers an immersive and unforgettable experience. Whether you are a devoted Paul Thomas Anderson fan, a follower of Leonardo DiCaprio's transformative roles, or someone drawn to powerful stories about family and redemption, this film promises to leave a lasting impact. As the film hits theaters worldwide, audiences can prepare for a journey filled with tension, heart, and profound emotional stakes, an unforgettable testament to Anderson's mastery of storytelling and the enduring power of cinema.